All right, in this lesson, we're going to be looking at an example of FIFO under the periodic inventory system. The key in this example is that we've got a little bit more moving parts that we have to deal with. So we're going to help you understand those moving parts as we go along. So let's start off with the example prompt here. Company A tracks the number of units purchased and sold throughout the year, but applies its inventory costing method at the end of each period, aka periodic inventory system. Given the inventory information below, calculate the cost of goods available for sale, ending inventory, and cost of goods sold using the FIFO method. And then we're given some information. Now, notice, kind of walking us through the table here, notice that we've got everything sorted by dates, and we have a beginning balance. We also have some purchases, and then we also have some sales, okay? So obviously the purchases and the beginning balance, we have a unit cost because that's what it costs us. But notice that we don't have any unit cost for the sold. That's where we're gonna have to figure that out under FIFO. And then we've got the number of units. So what's gonna be interesting is that we still need to go from top to bottom, but we're gonna have to rearrange this table a little bit. And that's what we're gonna do over the course of this lesson. So step number one, I would say, to solving this is figuring out first, how many units did we sell in total? So how many units did we sell over the course of the month? So in this case, I would look at everything that says sold and add up the units that we sold. So in this case, we've got July 5th, July 17th, and July 27th. So we're going to add up all those three numbers because that's how much we've sold. So 1,000 units, 3,000 units, and 5,000 units. So if we do the math there, 1,000 plus 3,000 plus 5,000, that would give us 9,000 units. So that we're going to keep in our back pocket for now. So we have 9,000 units that we're going to have to deal with in giving it a cost. Okay, so right now we've sold 9,000 units, but we don't have a cost to them yet. We don't know how much to take out of inventory and put into cost of goods sold. So we're going to need to assign a cost to those 9,000 units based on FIFO. But we first need to know how many units did we sell, all right? All right, step number two is we're gonna do something kind of unusual here, but we're gonna line up all of your inventory amounts by date, the earlier one first, basically beginning purchases plus our, beginning inventory or beginning balance plus our purchases. So this is a technique of just, let's line up everything so that we know where everything is. Now, generally speaking, most of the times in a question, you're going to be given them in order. But if you're not given an order, you're going to need to stop and organize them in order because it makes such a big difference in solving the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and line up all of our beginning balances and our purchases. So the first one that we have is on 7/1. This is our beginning inventory, and we have 2,000 units, and that cost us $40 a piece. Then I'm going to go down to the next available one, which would be the next purchase. And in this case, on 7/13, it looks like we made a purchase, and that purchase equated to 6,000 units at $44 a piece. Then on 7/25, we made another purchase, and that's going to be for 8,000 units and $50. So I've created a chart basically of how I'm going to assign costs. And now I know what came in first, what came in second, and what came in last as I start to allocate a cost to all 9,000 units, all right? So that's the second thing that we should do. The third thing that we should do here is figure out how much inventory do we have in dollars. And this is going to give us our first answer that the question is looking for, which is goods available for sale, or cost of goods available for sale. So what's cool about it is if I've lined it up correctly, then I can just add one more column at the end and do an extended amount. Okay, so extended means we're going to take the number of units, multiply by its cost. That would give us an extended amount. So if I take my first line of 2,000 units times 40, I'm going to get $80,000. If I do 6,000 times 44, I'm going to get 264,000. And then if I do 8,000 times 50, I'm going to get $400,000, okay? So again, once we've lined it up, the next best thing to do is create another column and then put in all of our extended costs. Now, once we have that, we're going to total it down. So we're going to total it down to 744. And so our goods available for sale, which is the first answer that we have, is $744,000. Okay, so goods available for sale means during the year, how many goods did we have available for sale? And since we're looking for dollar amount here, then we need to extend it dollar wise. Now we can also look at how many units did we have available during that period. So we had 8,000, 6,000, and 2,000. So if we were to add up all of those, 8, 6, and 2, we should get 16,000 units. Okay, so we had 16,000 units available for sale at a total valuation of $744,000. All right, let's move on to step number 4. In step number 4, we're trying to calculate cost of goods sold. So this is where we're really going to use FIFO. Now remember, FIFO means first in, first out. So we're going to allocate the first cost to the first items, and then we'll work our way down. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. So we've sold 9,000 units. So if we think about it, we've got 9,000 units that we have to assign a cost. And so what we're going to do is we're going to work our way through those 9,000s and assign it a cost based on the layers that we have. So if I look at July 1, that's the first one. So we're going to assign $40 to the units. But how many units can we assign it to? So of the 9,000, can I assign $40 to all 9,000? The answer should be no, because there was only 2,000 units that were purchased at $40. So really, I can only assign $40 to 2,000 of the 9,000 units that we sold. Okay, so again, first in, first out. The first one that came in was the $40, so we're going to assign that to the 9,000 units. But I can't assign that to all 9,000 units because I only have 2,000 units to play with. So in this case, of the beginning inventory, I can assign 2,000 units, a unit cost of $40. Okay, we'll worry about the extended amount in a minute. All right, so now I've got 9,000 units. I've already allocated 2,000 at $40. So now I have 7,000 units that still don't have a cost. Now I work myself to the next line. So the next line is 6,000 units at $44 a unit. Well, I have 7,000 units that need a cost, and this layer is only going to give me 6,000 units. So I can't allocate 44 to all 7,000. I can only allocate 44 to only 6,000. Okay, so we're going to allocate 6,000 units at 44. So now if I take my 9,000 units that I've sold, 2,000 is at 40. Then I have 6,000 that's at 44. And I'm still missing a cost for 1,000 units because 6 plus 2 is only 8, and I need to apply a cost to all 9,000 units. So 1,000 units are missing. Now we're going to go to the next line. So the next line has 8,000 units, but I don't need 8,000 units. I only need to cost out 1,000 units. Therefore, on that last line, I'm going to cost out 1,000 units at $50. Okay? So now if I look at my chart for cost of goods sold, I started with 2,000, then I costed another 6,000, that would give me 8,000, and then I cost another 1,000, that would give me 9,000 units that I've cost, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for how many units did I sell, 9,000 units, and assigning a cost to every single unit in that 9,000 units sold. So now I can do the extended here. So 2,000 times 40 is 80,000. 6,000 times 44 is 264. And then $50 times 1,000 is $50,000. So if I add all that together, my cost of goods sold is $394,000. So $394,000 is my cost of goods sold. Notice again, all I'm doing is I'm taking how much I sold, which is step number 1, and allocating a cost based on FIFO. How do we do that? We start from the top, workaway bottom. But we can't just assign all 9,000 at $40. We have to assign it based on how many units we purchased at that price. In this case, 2,000 units. Then we work down to 6,000 and then finally 1,000. So then the question is what's left? Well, what's left is we've already taken away all of these units. We've taken away all of these units, and we didn't take away all of the third line. We've only taken 1,000, so there's still 7,000 left at $50. So that would give us our ending inventory, 7,000 times 50. Now we can do that. There's also another way of calculating it out. So let's take a look at step number 5 here. Remember that goods available for sale equals cost of goods sold plus ending inventory. I can then swap out the sides to get ending inventory, and then I get an equation: goods available for sale minus cost of goods sold equals ending inventory. So we know what our goods available for sale is. It was $744,000, which we did in step 2. We can then subtract from it cost of goods sold. Well, we just calculated cost of goods sold a second ago, and we said cost of goods sold is $394,000. And so 744,000 minus 394 gives us an ending inventory of $350,000. Okay. So again, we could have taken the 7,000 times 50 and we would have gotten 350 as well. But if you didn't do that, then you can literally just take how much do we have available for sale minus how much did we sold, gives us how much should still be in our inventory. In this case, $350,000. So that is a look at our FIFO example, more comprehensive. We've got some quantities to deal with. The key to solving this accurately is doing it step by step by step. If you try to shortcut it and you don't know what you're doing, you will not get the right answers. And there are some shortcuts you could probably do in this problem, but as you're learning this, my suggestion is go step by step by step until you understand it fully. Then you can probably use some shortcuts and maybe not do all the steps necessary. It's kind of like when you first learn 2 plus 2, they don't just say memorize 2 plus 2 equals 4. They say, okay, you have 2 units here and you got 2 units here. And if you count them all individually, you got 4. And you kept doing that until you were comfortable in knowing it. And so you didn't have to start counting. You just knew in your head 2 plus 2 equals 4. Same thing here. Follow the steps. And then once you get good at it, you can probably take away some of the steps and still get the same answer. And that's probably the biggest mistake students make, is they want to try to rush this just because they want to get it done quickly, or they don't think they have enough time. But if you slow it down and do it step by step, I promise you should do fine. All right. So hope you enjoyed this lesson, and we'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure you press the like button below. And if you're looking for worksheets that go along with all of these lessons, head over to my website at patrickleemsa.com or click in the link in the far right. And I've got your next lesson right over here. So just click that link and it'll take you to that video. So until then, we'll see you in the next lesson.